Yesterday was Veterans Day, the day we honor Americans who've served in the military. Of course, some of our fallen veterans lie in lands far from home. All the same, Seth Doane tells us, their sacrifice is not forgotten.
It's a continuing tribute half a world away with a simple brush and bucket of water. 3 days a week, a team of 20 here in southern Italy washes each of the 7,861 military gravestones of troops from places like Connecticut and Missouri. This cemetery south of Rome honors American military war dead. Most were killed in campaigns that led to liberating Rome from the Nazis during World War II. Before pouring into your grandfather's history and doing all this research, did you know that places like this, cemeteries like this, existed?
No, I didn't know anything.
Dawn Royster promised her mother she'd come to Italy to honor her grandfather, Lieutenant James A. Calhoun. He was a Tuskegee Airman, part of that famed African-American U.S. Army unit.
My grandmother, I believe, was his neighbor, and they met and fell in love. He was black, she was white. It was kind of a big deal. My grandmother's family wasn't happy about it.
So when Lieutenant Calhoun died during the war, Royster's family believed her grandmother's story, that he was missing in action, not buried overseas in one of these military cemeteries managed by the U.S. government. But as Dawn Royster told Melanie Resto, an Army veteran who runs this cemetery, her mother uncovered some old letters from the War Department.
And I remember her coming to me and saying, "My father is buried in a cemetery in Italy." And we were like, "What are you talking about? He was missing in action." She said, "He wasn't. And he has a grave."
As superintendent, part of Resto's job is to collect and preserve those stories.
The promise that was made, time will not dim the glory of their deeds, is a promise we hold true today.
That promise was made by General of the Army's John J. Pershing, who was appointed to the American Battle Monuments Commission by President Warren Harding. In 1923, 100 years ago, Harding signed legislation establishing this effort to honor fallen and missing service members.
Because they had war dead overseas in Europe, such a far land. Today, service members killed in action, he's automatically flown home. In a matter of, 12, 15 hours max, he can be home back in the States. But back then, it was not the case. We had war dead overseas.
Today, the commission manages 26 permanent burial grounds and 32 memorials, monuments, and markers in far-off places like the Solomon Islands, Tunisia, the Philippines, and Panama. There are 12 cemeteries in France.
This cemetery is a closed cemetery. It is strictly for war dead from World War II, from Sicily to Rome, specifically that area and that period. So no spouses are buried here, none of their children are buried here, like they would at a normal national cemetery, such as Arlington.
But like Arlington, the grounds are meticulously kept.
How important is it for you that it is perfect, that it's precise?
Nothing is perfect. We work for create a perfect.
Dimitri Manuzzi is part of that team of 20 gardeners.
Every day we honor these guys who give us their life for liberty.
You find your work gardening as a way to honor the fallen?
Yeah.
94-year-old Silvestro Martufi grew up nearby and remembers the Allies' landing. Every time I pass by here, he says, I salute them.
You'll give a salute when you pass by.
I was very close to these guys, and on Sunday when I make my visit, he told us, I talk with them. For me, this place is very close to my heart. Anna Corocci, who's 88, recalls when they built the cemetery. When they started to work here, I saw all of the body bags on the ground, she remembers. I asked my mother, and she said, "These are all of the soldiers who were fighting for us." And I said, "Oh dear, so many." She was just a kid.
Dopo tutti questi anni è ancora emozionante per lei. It's still emotional for you after all these years.
We'll have a small ceremony we call sanding of the grave.
Dawn Royster did not think she'd get emotional.
You know, I've always just thought he was missing in action. And even now, it's sort of hitting me that he's right here.
Right here.
And that's incredible to me. Really incredible.
As she does for every visiting family member, Melanie Resto rubs sand from the nearby beach of Nettuno, where the Allies landed, bringing these names into focus again.
It seems like a royal person would be buried here. It is stunningly beautiful, impeccably maintained, very elegant. What an incredible place to spend your resting time, being watched and taken care of every day.
It's all part of keeping that promise made 100 years ago. Time will not dim the glory of their deeds.